Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? What's going on? Wait, did I have everyone in the right spot? Oh, thank goodness I did. Okay. Hello, everybody. Chase, thank you so much for the tier 1. And Rusty, thank you so much for the tier 1. Today we are joined by StrayChroma. Hello, hello.
Hello. What's up, guys, gals, and other pals?
I love that. And we also have Chase and Mr. Space.
Hello. I'm Chase.
What up?
Their names rhyme, and every time I like to say it, so it works.
I've never actually noticed that before.
I say it every time.
Yeah, I guess I don't listen.
Oh wow. I mean, what else is new? Hotel cables? I love it, dude.
Wait. Someone post the. Wait, I have the clip.
Chase and Mr. Hotel.
Like, did you actually save the clip? If you guys
I
don't
have
know,
the clip.
Oh god, he has the clip. You live in a nice room. Hello, everybody. Kimchi, what's going on? Lightning, what's going on? Fallen, what's going on? Chozo, hello, hello. If you guys don't know who StrayChroma is, she is a fellow keyboard streamer. She also does some Path of Exile every now and then that I tune in for, which I really dig because I'm a huge Path of Exile fan. But Chroma, can you let us know some stuff about you, maybe before keyboard streaming? What got you into it?
Oh, sure. So as Alex said, like I play not just Path of Exile, but I also here on Twitch I have a history of being like a game streamer. So I started out like my little Pachimari emote that you see in the chat. I started out as an Overwatch streamer. I also played games like Rainbow Six Siege and PUBG and stuff like that. Mainly like first-person shooter games and stuff. But I used to stream games a couple years ago, and then I kind of stopped streaming games. And I also, like, at the time wasn't really into the keyboard hobby, but recently as like October of last year or September of last year, I kind of got back into both keyboards and streaming at the same time. So yeah.
How did you enjoy gaming streaming? Like, do you still enjoy streaming games, or
Game streaming is a lot different here on Twitch, because like whatever game you're playing, you're competing with like hundreds, if not thousands, of other people still like playing the same game as you. So it's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot more difficult to get things running. But at the same time, like game streaming is like really fun because you get to have like really hype moments, whereas like keyboard building is not really super hype most of the time.
Someone asked me to ask you about the floor stream when Key Cult raided.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if you guys knew about this, but like last stream, I was having, and you might be able to relate to this, Alex, but I was having internet issues.
Oh yeah, I can relate. I mean, only slightly can relate to that,
Right.
Not a whole lot, but.
Right. So I was having internet issues last stream, and I was. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so this was the last Thursday. So Tuesday's build, I was like really slow because I was just like chilling with Chad, but like I really wanted to get that keyboard project done on Thursday. So when my stream went down, or my internet went down, I was like, yo, no, I have to finish this build. So I grabbed my phone and I just like start live streaming from my phone. And then Key Cult raids me with a party of like 200 people, and I'm like, oh hey guys, we're streaming at 432p, and at one point people are like, oh, can we get an overhead view with like the phone camera? And I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that. So I put my phone like on the edge of my desk, right? And then we like streamed from the floor. So that's what
you moved yourself to the floor.
Oh yeah. we were putting keycaps on. So I think I actually dropped my keycaps on the floor. So it ended up being really convenient to like just move my operation lower onto the floor.
That's what I gotta do. Lightning, take notes. I know Lightning's in chat right now, and me and him, we're East Coast. I don't know what it is about us East Coast people. We have the worst internet. So Lightning, take notes. We got to start streaming from our. But my data plan. Do you guys have a cap on your data? Where you guys are?
Fortunately, no, but
yeah, they have a cap. What about you guys? Chase, Space?
I don't.
Chat?
No.
Yeah, for us.
Like
so for us, I have. Yeah, we have here in Toronto. We have I have a decent plan that has 15 gigabytes, and then after that, like you don't pay anymore. Mm-hmm. But we get 500 kilobytes is our cap for speed.
Oh.
So.
Ew.
What's a kilobyte?
I know, right? I know.
I used to have a cap on my data. I think we actually had like a family plan, and my family had like 20 gigs, and there was a period where the place I lived, I didn't have very good internet, and like all the work I was doing was like downloading video and uploading videos to other places, right? And so like I was using like all of my family's data in a month, and they were like they like are like, why are we running out of data? And they go to the account and realize like, oh, Chase is using all of it.
Dude, there was one point too here in Canada. I don't, for all the Canadians, maybe you guys in America had the same thing, or maybe somewhere else in the world too. We had caps on our actual like data, like our cellular, or not cellular rather, but our internet plans. So we had like a 50 gig plan. I'm not kidding you guys. There was like a 50 gig plan, a 100 gig plan, then you'd pay extra per gigabyte, or per megabyte, I think it was.
Per megabyte?
It was expensive. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, we would have points in time where I remember that we would download stuff like as kids, like we're young. I was like I think maybe in my older teens, we'd download something and be like, maybe our like parents wouldn't find out what we downloaded. It wouldn't be anything weird, by the way, chat. Nothing weird. It would just be like a game or something. And then like my parents would like skip like, who downloaded an extra 2 gigabytes this month?
Imagine it's like $2 to like an Instagram picture.
Well, dude, it was pretty bad, man. It was like really expensive. Then they did away with all that stuff. They did away. Dude, it was nothing weird, dude. It was chat. It was nothing weird. Stop. Guys, listen. There was nothing weird. All right? Not really. Okay, but anyways, what about you guys? Do you guys have anything like that in America? For your actual...
Dude, I have an unlimited plan, but I don't really use cellular.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even our internet, I don't remember the last time there was any type of data cap on like my wired internet or my Wi-Fi or anything like that. That's what I know of. Yeah, maybe I'm too. Internet.
I think I have like 400 down, which is like apparently not that good for Texas. But,
well, what's crazy too, Reagan, is like, you know, Courtney streams as well, but I mean the amount of data that streaming uses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're constantly uploading a feed.
Yeah, so it gets pretty tough. Like we I think last month I was seeing how much data I actually used. It was something like 100 gigabytes of data just from upload, I think it was, or something crazy like that. I don't know. It was something ridiculous, but it was crazy. But in terms of keyboards, guys, there's been a lot of new stuff that's been coming out. A lot of new keyboards, a lot of budget stuff as well. And one thing that I know Courtney does a lot on her stream is she does a lot more like entry-level builds or easy to get builds as well. What's been your favorite so far?
Oh, okay. So I actually have a soft spot in my heart for like pre-built keyboards because even with pre-built keyboards, like there's a lot to modify. You can desolder things. You can put better switches into it. Just like kind of play around with things that are like sub $100, which is awesome. And my favorite of that category so far has been I bought this like full-size Hello Kitty keyboard. It is like all pink, and for $100 it's full size. You get like PBT die sub Hello Kitty keycaps. It has matching pig stabs, and I'm like, yo, there's so much value here. So that's been my favorite project so far. I'm still working on it. Like I just got it desoldered, but
drop the link.
Okay, let me get this for you guys.
Drop the link, and then I guess for anyone in who's watching this from Spotify or anything like that. It's the Hello Kitty board. I mean, I can't really read you guys out the link.
It's by Akko.
There you go. It's by Akko.
Akko Gear. Let me see. Here it is, chat.
So what else have you been doing for like pre-builts and stuff like that? Like, what's been a project other than this one here that maybe you could recommend someone?
Let me think. So one thing about I guess like making more affordable keyboard builds is that like you typically are looking at like in-stock products as well. Like there's not very many group buys for inexpensive parts. You know what I mean? Unless you're talking about like the occasional like group buy for a bunch of plates here and there, right? So when you look at stuff like the tofu builds, stuff like anything available from 1UP keyboards, basically. Like I just did a client build recently where like we're using like a 1UP keyboards, acrylic PCB, using like a DZ60. Like these are Gateron yellows. These are all things that you can find in stock. And so I don't have any like particular like favorite one of those that I've made because you have to be a little bit more, I think, like resourceful about where you source like more inexpensive parts. If that makes sense. Yeah.
I know that's something that Chase really like. Chase is really big into more budget things. I wouldn't say, Chase, would you consider yourself like a connoisseur of budget stuff? Or just really into it?
No, I mean, I just am rather than spend all my money on like one keyboard, I've very much been spreading it out over multiple less expensive keyboards is definitely how I would say. But I do like the like having the option of like, I don't know, I feel like we come back to this every single week, but like the NK65 at like $90 at the entry level, like I don't know, I love having those type of options, especially since like they just recently did another stock of them and offered more color variations of it and everything. It's just, I don't know, it's a really cool time if you're just looking to get into the hobby right now. It's really cool.
Well, and I think that's the big thing too. Is, I mean, like, we're gonna keep on bringing these things up because they're still very relevant, and people are still wanting something that's a little bit more accessible, a little bit more entry level. You know, when we started doing Keebcast, it was talking about how we wish we can get more entry level stuff and more accessibility, and now we have it. Like, there is accessibility. And I don't know, StrayChroma, if you're looking at the Icky Aurora that's coming out, I guess, very shortly. If that's been on your radar at all.
A little bit. I mean, like, so I'm not personally, I'm not in the market for a 65% keyboard right now because I have the KBD 67, so that kind of like fills my quota for 65%. But the Icky looks like a pretty good value for what it is, and I also am like a really big fan of like that particular 65 layout with like the on the right side where all of the like the page up, page down is like in a square. Like there's also like the Sokka 68 that's very similar to that I was looking at, but
and the Stellar that Mr. Space is working on too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has his box there. Here, Reagan wants to show his box to you guys. Reagan, show us your box.
I do want to show the box.
Show me your box now. Please respond.
I showed box.
I showed box. Please respond.
Box.
There's the box. But yeah, I like that layout too. I know some people don't like or particularly like that layout, but I really like it. Yeah. Some very cool boxes.
Fancy packaging.
Wow.
Very fancy.
I'm a fan of packaging.
So what's been on your radar then? That's coming out.
Oh, okay, nothing upcoming because I kind of just spent a lot, right? But in terms of stuff that like is pretty recent,
haven't we?
And yeah, I know, but I school started, you know.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's more important.
Yeah. So in terms of recent group wise, I'm excited for the IDUBAO V3, which is like the ID80 but gasket mounted version. I'm also looking forward to the GMMK Pro coming up soon. If you can't tell, I'm like a 75% person.
Okay, cool.
Unfortunately, like, I mean, I know you did like box 75 today, but that's a little out of my budget at the moment. And then like in terms of, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like, I'm excited for like dots too, but that's like keycaps. So
I mean, that's fair. You don't have to be. It doesn't have to be just keyboard. You know, like physical kits, but dots are gonna be interesting too. Like, I'm personally, and I think this is where I differ from a lot of people. Like, I'm not too interested in getting dots myself, but I know a lot of people like. There's a lot of hype behind the first one, and I know the kit sells for a lot. Well, before the new one was announced, it was still pretty expensive to get on Mech Market. So, and also we had a question too. People were asking what kind of led you to go down this like IDBAO route, I guess.
Oh, okay. So it didn't start out with me simping for IDUBAO, right? It kind of, it's like I said, I focus around like keyboards that are more like budget friendly, and it's not necessarily like a creative choice. It's literally just what I can afford right now. So when you're working with a constrained budget, you do a lot of research, and the IDUBAO is just like one of the keyboards that I found because I like 75%, and in like the, let's say 150 to 250 price point in terms of custom stuff, like it's really like uncontested in that space. Like the layout is like you have like KBD 75 that kind of rivals it in that price point, but the KBD 75 has a like squashed 75 layout. And so given that was like the best option given my money, like that I just got the IDUBAO, and then I was like, oh, I like this, and there's another one coming out, so let me just get that one. And then slowly through my stream, people have come to know me as a person very familiar with that keyboard. And I guess I'm just rolling with it now. I mean
that's such a cool thing though, and I see you do a lot of like modding. Is this mods that you can buy? Because I'm not actually too familiar with the whole entire line of what they come with for accessories and whatnot. But you do a lot of modding, and is this aftermarket stuff, like is this post modding that you do on your own accord, or is this stuff that you can physically buy from their store?
I think sometimes it's a combination of the two. Like, there's a lot of like pre-made mods. So, for example, there's like little stickers that you can buy from KBD fans that like go underneath your stabilizers and act like as a band-aid mod.
Okay.
Right? That's something you can buy beforehand. And then like what I sometimes do is I go to like, I know people shit on the mechanical keyboards subreddit, but some people in there are like really creative in the ways that they like tinker with pre-built boards and stuff. And so I like read through forums and see like what other kinds of things have people put in their keyboards in order to improve the sound in ways that aren't pretty, but they work. So I experiment with things like sorbethane and neoprene and other kinds of damping foams. There's also just like, I don't know, plate mounted stabs are bad, but you can make them better. Doing stuff like that. So it really is. It's basically just using all of the tools I have available to mod pre-built keyboards that I try to utilize from both categories.
Which is important that you say that too. It's like what tools you have that you can mod stuff with. Because I feel like a lot of people who want to get into custom keyboards, like, and I get this request a lot too with people who have like a pre-built, even a Corsair. Like, you can definitely, if you want to really tinker around with it, something like what StrayChroma does, which is she tinkers around with something that maybe already exists, and you can do so many interesting things. Like, even something if it's a plastic keyboard case, like, you can have fun with it. And I think that's a large part of what this hobby really is. It's tinkering, it's modding, it's finding something that suits you, that suits your budget. It's not just buying the latest and greatest like hot kit. You don't have to buy that. So I think it's a wonderful thing to do, especially with things like pre-builts. One thing that I want to do, and I know Chase has mentioned this to me a million times, is pick up a ducky and just see what I can do with it. The thing is, duckies are actually kind of expensive. So duckies are they actually have a price tag to them. But I'd love to do stuff like that too.
I can send you one.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Reagan. I'd love one. I'm going to take it all apart though. Hope you know that.
So I know earlier you said you're not really looking for 65% right now, but have you seen, I know the other day I was scrolling through Drop and they actually had the iDoBow, the ID67 on there, which I hadn't seen anything about that before. I don't know anything about that board at all really though.
Okay, so going back to what I said about the ID80 before, the primary feature that you're looking at with that keyboard is price and the layout, because you don't get that. But at the price for 65%, there's much better than the ID67.
Okay.
Like even like an NK65, Portico, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm excited to try out a whole bunch of these new things coming out. Like I do want to pick up an NK65. However, like, I just don't have a purpose for another 65% in my closet full of 65% keyboards. I just feel like it is a very popular layout for a reason. I just don't have enough space at this point here. But
I have like people have been asking me about NK65, but I actually have like the milkshake edition that I ordered. So like, I'm just waiting on that. I feel like there's always room for more milkshake in my life. So that's it.
Always. Don't worry, I got you, Alex. Thank you, Kimchi. I appreciate you. I do, man. Have you tried anything like Toper switches or anything like that? Or is that still on the to-do list, or is that something that you want to get into?
So in terms of like other mechanical keyboards, if you're talking vintage, Toper, whatever, I've only tried buckling spring keyboards.
Really?
That's it. Yeah,
See,
I actually
tried that.
There's this one like high school teacher I had who, like, I brought my first keyboard was like a Poker 2. I brought it because I was typing on my laptop, and he was like, "You have a mechanical keyboard," and he pulls out this Model M from behind his desk, and he's like, "You want to try this out?" So that's the only other kind of mechanical switch I've tried.
I'm positive
I still haven't tried Toper.
They're interesting, Chase. I definitely for me, maybe not my cup of tea for the long term, but it was definitely really fun to type on. And I'd love to go further myself, maybe like play around, tinker around a little bit more with it here and there, but time to teach you all.
I know you've got one you can mess with.
I know I do. Chozo, I don't know how to pronounce it, man. I barely can pronounce anything, Chozo.
Every time I try to pronounce it, I end up like tripping all over my tongue.
Yeah.
How does it
I'm
sit?
pretty sure it's Toper.
Toper, I don't know.
Tupri.
I mean, like, you guys know how I pronounce. You guys were literally making fun of me, not making fun of me, but poking fun at me today
I don't know
about pronouncing
how to
about.
pronounce it.
So And what else did I say that you guys? Sorry, you guys don't. You guys.
Topre.
Topre. Thanks, Joseph. Alex, maybe you should ask Mike to send you an NK65 for a YouTube budget board review. Thing is, I don't really do, and I guess this is another topic too. I don't really do a whole lot of like true reviews, Hooligan. And as much as I'd like to get into that, I feel like that's a whole different genre of content. You know, like I personally kind of like the. Here's what we're doing today. Let's all have fun with this and get some impressions. Then we can talk about it later. I feel like that's a little bit more personal. So for me, I really haven't gone to cross that line of reviewing. Is that something that you ever want to do, StrayChroma?
So okay, I have made YouTube content in the past, like unrelated to keyboards, and I've considered like making YouTube content, but there's two major factors that like get in my way. One is that I don't want to be another person that uploads typing tests and like looks at the design of this keyboard and let's get into all the specs and stuff. Like I'm just not that entertaining at doing, like just straight up facts about a keyboard. So I would want to do something a little bit more creative. Like I don't know if you're familiar, or for any of you are guys familiar with like this genre of YouTube videos called studio vlogs.
Studio vlogs.
They're essentially like very soothing, like like it's always overlaid with lo-fi about like someone in their office making stickers or something. I would want to do something more like that. But it's kind of low in the priorities because I've got like school, and I think that I'm trying to put more energy in my stream, so it's maybe later.
I mean, that's fair. And actually, speaking of that, how are you balanced? Like, how are you personally finding balancing school? Oh, the face just said it. By the way, if anyone's just listening to this, she just had a very like deep sigh. It was like an internal sigh. It was like a struggle. Balancing school with content creation, because obviously this is something that it seems like you're putting a lot of effort into it, and I can definitely see that as well. Like you've definitely progressed. You've done a whole lot of things with your stream on Twitch. So I can't imagine. Like I know work with me personally, I come from the whole like work plus content creation, which is sometimes a pain in the ass. But I know school doesn't just finish when school finishes. Like there's stuff to do and there's always stuff to learn, there's stuff to memorize. So how are you finding that?
So I think this requires like a little bit of backstory.
Go for it.
But regarding school, I took this past semester off because of the pandemic. And I also, like previously before that, like I had to take a year off because of medical reasons. So I'm like already a non-traditional student, and I already struggle with how do I get back into school after having 6 months of like working or 6 months of maybe doing nothing, right? And I think that it requires a lot of planning, but it also required me to focus on like, I guess my mental health overall. Like if I was stressed out only because of stream, right? Then there's no way that I could add school on top of that, right? So I had to like, I don't know, like try to learn how to manage like stress, manage my time more effectively and stuff like that. And because I'm putting conscious effort into planning and to not beating myself up if I'm not like 100% efficient all the time, I think that I've been managing it pretty well. Granted, though, we're only like 2 weeks into the semester, so maybe check back with me, in a month and see how I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's the tough part, because I know people will ask me, and I'm sure people ask you the same thing. It's kind of like, how do I get into this kind of stuff? But it's not always, I feel like some people, not in the keyboard community, but it's like a lot of smoke and mirrors with content creation and doing this stuff. Like people make it seem like effortless, and that's very cool that they can make it seem like that. But there's truly a lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes, and stuff like school and stuff that adds more stress. I feel like doesn't get talked about enough. And I know we talked about this on Manoli's, and I'm sure Chase can attest this as well, and same with Space Cables, because we've had long conversations about mental health and life things. Resident Sleeper, you know what, Lightning, I know we can probably ignore it sometimes, but I try my best sometimes, but there's honestly sometimes where you just can't ignore it, and like mental health gets in the way. Not in the way, but it's like an added piece of stress. But yeah, I don't think it's talked about enough, and I know there's a lot of people going through things, especially with the pandemic, is making it very hard for a lot of people too. I can imagine, even from a business side of things, from Reagan's side of things, how hard that's, how hard it's made him feel sometimes too, right?
If I may interject about this particular subject, because one thing that maybe people know about me, maybe people don't, it's like less important, because
Yeah, go
very
ahead.
far
You have
removed
the
from
floor. It's all
keyboards,
you.
right?
Yeah.
So like the thing I'm studying in school is that I'm actually a psychology major. So like mental health is not only like a center point of like my personal life, but it's also something that I've like dedicated. I'm dedicated to studying to, right? So in that regard, I actually think that for me, is how do I say this? Like something you can fight for a cause without it hurting you, right?
Yeah,
So like even though you're stressed and you got a lot of work to do, right? And there's a lot ahead of you. The way I try to push myself is that like I try to say like I can do this, like let's go bitches, like that kind of attitude. And I think that
Yeah.
trying to be, it's not like not just like being positive, but trying to be like enthusiastic about myself and the things I'm capable
Self-motivating,
of helps
yeah.
me. Yeah, definitely. And that helps me with both streaming and my school and balancing the two, you know?
Totally. I know for me, it's been like I look at other people sometimes and I get inspiration and energy from them. You know, I've been friends with Space Cable since like literally maybe not day one, but maybe day 3, you know? Because day 1, I didn't know Reagan. It was just me posting one photo and then people liked it and stuff. But day 3 guy, Reagan, you know, he's my day 3. And I look at him because he quit his job, if you guys don't know, and pursued Space Cables and has been putting all his time and effort into making his business the best that it can be. And that's been a lot of inspiration for me. And even that comes down to content creation. Chase is a great person to talk to for that as well. And that's kind of where I find my inspiration. And imagine not knowing Alex from day 2 or less. I know Glarses. I know. Crazy. I didn't know Glarses then, but he was in my thoughts. So he was my he was my day 2.
I know, like, we had a conversation with Glarses about, you know, he's also in school, and he's talking about how juggling school and content creation, and I'm sure I think the difference between like being in school and doing content creation and being like having a job and also being in content creation is that when you're in school, you're going to school like with the purpose of finding yourself like a position within an industry. So then if you're also creating content on the side, it's like, well, how does this fit into that plan? Or how does this, like, is this something once I get there, I have to just drop it? Like what, you know, it's a whole nother beast at that point when you're learning, when you're in education, the education system still, and also creating content. It's a whole nother beast at that point.
Yeah, and keyboards are an interesting thing too, because it's not like you can just order something and maybe, okay, yes, if you're doing pre-built or you're buying like a whole kit from someone, like switches and keycaps included, but you're buying like parts, keyboard kit, modding materials, you know, it's from sometimes like 6 different vendors, you know. And when you really think about it, these things can get costly. Like I do this a lot, and I want to know if you guys do this too. I forget to calculate in shipping costs for things. Sometimes I'm like, oh, this board will only cost me, you know, X amount of dollars. And then I'm like, oh, shit, it cost me $20 from every person to ship to Canada.
And import tax.
And import taxes. Yeah. So that's always the tough part about keyboards, too.
Yeah, especially if you're saying that those costs and everything and bringing it back to school stuff. I mean, for people who are full-time students, like I don't know how you can be full-time student and I guess at that point have a job and get into content creation, unless hopefully your content creation at that point is able to fund your hobby, creating more content at that point.
The goal.
Yeah,
that's the goal for
have
I think
it be
everyone,
like self-sustaining.
Yeah. How are you finding everything though? Are you liking the community? Are you, because you're how long have you been inside the community recently? Like when did you join back?
Let me think. I think I said October or September.
Yeah. It was around that time.
So pretty recent. Like I got into the keyboard hobby again in like the summer of last year, but I didn't start streaming until a couple months later. And I've been I've been blown away by how friendly and knowledgeable all the nerds in this community are. Because like you really have to have like a ton of knowledge about keyboards to be very interested enough to like watch another keyboard streamer on Twitch. Like everyone in chat, y'all are smart. So it's really, I don't know, it's like really refreshing being part of like a community that is so focused, you know, like this is a weird hobby to be into. We're like into like this really mundane object, and it's just kind of a weird and beautiful experience.
It's these damn rectangles.
Sometimes plastic, sometimes metal. Stupid rectangles. Yeah, they captured our hearts, guys. Who would have thought?
Damn rectangles.
And by the way, if you guys have any questions for StrayChroma, let me know. I think there was one earlier about me asking you, what's your favorite color? I can't tell. What is it? Can you let us know?
We got the lights. See the bookshelf in the background? That's also pink. See my keyboard that I use all the time? Also
Oh,
pink.
that's a lot of pink.
You know, like my cable. I have the booby cable. You know, that's pink. You know, I don't know. Give me your best guess, chat. What do you guys think?
789 says blue.
That close, but think a little warmer there.
Stray likes it might be. Is it yellow? Green.
Yellow's not a bad color.
Red. Red's close. Red's getting closer. It's getting warmer. Light red.
That's one way to describe it.
Bright pink. Bright pink. Yeah, bright pink is the right one. Bright peach. Also, another thing, someone actually just brought it up, and now I'm losing it. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I slightly remember this conversation. I think this bled into apiaries or something like that. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? This is not keyword related, but I mean, like I'm very interested.
Ongoing internet conversation that like never ends because there's not a right answer.
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
So me and my chat have determined that a hot dog is closer in composition to a taco than a sandwich.
Okay,
because
yes,
it's like
but
open-ended
also,
on one side and it has filling in the middle.
It's bread.
How about this? I can end this conversation.
Sandwich. It's a sandwich. It's a sandwich.
Hot dogs are great, and I'll just eat them and not care about what to classify them as because I truthfully don't care as long as they're yummy.
Well, I got a rebuttal for the open on like one side thing and everything. Isn't like, have you ever had a sandwich from Subway? Typically, don't they cut theirs like most of the way down to where it's almost like also like almost taco sandwich hot dog bun type thing?
What have you guys done in chat?
What?
They don't cut theirs all the way through sometimes.
Yeah.
Mine are always cut all the way through. I don't know.
Really? Because what they do for me is they turn the bun sideways and then they cut down the middle with the knife like 75% of the way through, and then they load that thing.
Okay, so I understand where you guys are coming from, but like when we talk about the strict definition of a sandwich versus the strict definition of a taco,
Protein
I think
between bread.
right, but like structurally, I think it's closer to a taco.
All hot dogs are sandwiches,
I mean,
but not all sandwiches are hot dogs. That's what Slow just said.
I don't know, guys. I don't really care what to call things, as you guys know.
We need a poll.
As long as it's
yes,
yummy.
by definition, but culturally, no. I can agree with that, yeah.
Poll.
Chozo, do you want to make a poll for us? Our hot dog
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes.
Yes, no, or just put sometimes. I think maybe sometimes could be a good one.
No, sometimes.
No, sometimes? Just yes or no? Black or white? Okay. Black or white answers only. Vote. Okay, it's up. Chase hasn't been to Subways in years. They stopped cutting them that way. Wait.
You're right. I haven't been to Subway in years. I think Subway's pretty trash. I'm gonna be honest.
I've been to Subway before the pandemic, and they only cut it like 75%. I'm just telling you guys. That's what they do here.
If I'm gonna have a sandwich, I'm making it at home.
They don't cut it the whole way through anymore.
The fact that we have to like dispute if they do that or not, that's 1 point for taco right there. I think we can say with certainty what the structure of a taco is, right?
What constitutes a taco is a tortilla, is it not?
But the tortilla can vary in terms of its like you have like corn tortillas, you have flour tortillas. What prevents us from going further?
A corn tortilla or a flour tortilla?
But like
taco.
Jigsaw just said, "Is this where someone introduces a hot dog mounted keyboard?" I wish that was the thing.
Oh.
Also, speaking of food stuff, Reagan, can you show us what you're drinking?
Oh, please, yes.
It's actually keyboard related.
It's got this guy on it, and he's typing on a keyboard, and it's called Keyboard Gangster. And he's got his cheese balls next to him.
Can you show us the title of it, Reagan?
It's called Keyboard Gangster.
Well, his is backwards because Reagan makes me.
It's a West Coast IPA. It's a West Coast hazy IPA that is made in Austin, Texas, and there's like a gi and a hoverboard on it, and yeah.
It's literally called Keyboard Gangster.
It's literally called Keyboard Gangster, and it's from my city, so I had to get it.
There's a lot of people in Texas who are like really into keyboards. I swear like everyone, almost like 80% of the hobbies from Texas at this point here. I shit you not.
Yeah, we're gonna convert you to a Texan, Alex.
Yeah,
It's a West Coast style hazy IPA that is made in Texas.
We just need to know if the beer is linear or tactile. Is it linear or tactile, Reagan?
How's it feel going down?
Yeah.
Is it a pretty
It's
linear
not-
experience or a tactile experience?
It's not clicky.
It's not
I'll
clicky.
just leave it at that.
Ah.
Interesting. I wouldn't want food to be clicky.
Don't piss off Lux.
Please, let's not summon Lux. If I say it's tactile, he'll be in here.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
with lube ready to go. And a hammer. Sold. There you go. But back to not sandwiches, because
Oh, right.
yeah, because I mean hot dogs or sandwiches, yes, is winning. Some other you just disappointed StrayChroma. Yes. You just did. Back to some more keyboard stuff. You had mentioned some stuff that you were really interested in that's coming out. Is there something that you regret not purchasing? What is your biggest regret so far in not purchasing? Keycap set, keyboard, whatever you want. Ooh. Some thought is required.
Yeah, because one part of me wants to say nothing. Another part of me wants to think of like the cutest keycap set that I've missed.
Which is what?
See, that's what I'm thinking about.
Ah, okay.
She knows there's one. She just can't think of what it is.
I don't know, because like when I know that a lot of people deal with FOMO, but like when I miss out on something or if I can't afford it, I'm just like, oh, it's gone with the wind. You know, like it's.
That's a good mindset to have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like I also think about like with my keyboards, I plan on having them for a super long time, right? Oh my god, excuse me.
No worries.
I have plenty of having them for a super long time, right? So like if I'm enjoying the stuff I have for like 3, 4, 5 years from now to come, like that's fine. I don't need more stuff. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about it. Like the fact that I'm having a hard time recalling what I missed out on is like, you know, a sign to me.
I think that plays in that whole conversation. I think you were in this conversation with us too, where it's like it's okay to like not get things because there'll be other things, you know. And I think that's been a huge part of this hobby recently too. And I know you might have seen the whole Voice 65 thing, which I'm going to bring up another time today. I'm sorry guys for everyone earlier on in the stream. I think that FOMO and this whole like need to have something like, or like this is my grail and I need to have this now type mentality can be very dangerous in a way too, because it leads to very negative reactions. And I think it's okay, like what StrayChroma said, it's okay to like, it's gone with the wind type thing. Like there's going to be something else. And there is, like with the rate of how many things have been coming out recently, there's going to be something else that you like. 110%.
I think that my perspective is a little bit influenced by like how long I've been in the hobby as well. Because like I said that I started streaming back in like October, September, but I've been in the mechanical keyboard hobby since like 2015, 2014, right? And back then I was like an itty-bitty high school student with zero budget looking at keyboards, right? And so I was like pining over sets like, I don't know if you guys know what DSA Eevee is. It's like a signature plastic set based off like Wall-E, like the little white and blue robot.
DSA Eevee?
Eevee, yes. Like the fact that you don't know it is like, you know, it's pretty telling. But like I remember back then, like I was like dying to have this set. I was like super like, I don't know, I just like I wanted it really bad, and I feel that same kind of emotion to that set that I do now with keycap sets that I might want, right? Is it Eva or Eevee? Not Eevee? I thought on the signature plastic it's spelled EVE. Because, you know, copyright.
Wait, so this is based off Wall-E?
It's based off Wall-E, yes. Like the little blue and white robot.
Wall-E's significant other in the film.
Yeah, I don't like it's Eevee, but it's
I was like
the set is called
blue?
Eevee, but the character's Eva. Like it's
Wall-E.
confusing. But yeah, I remember wanting this set for a super long time, and like, you know, I feel that same emotion now with keycap sets that I see on Group Buy that I might like, but you know, having 5 years to reflect on that, it's like, oh, I didn't really need that. I didn't really want that, and
Yeah.
You know, I can't try to keep that in perspective.
Yeah, and I think another big thing too with me is like, one thing that I know about me is my tastes can change rapidly. Like there'll be one day where I'm like really into purples and blues, and then the next day I'm like, purples and blues kind of suck. I really like oranges and whites. And then the next day I can be like, you know what? Screw those colors. maybe reds and whites are better now, and then I'll be like, okay, screw those, I'm back to purples and blues, because I know that's how my tastes are, and I can get over something like really quickly, and then just be like really into something, whatever captures my attention for I guess the week, the month. But I know sometimes it can be. Sorry, go on, Chase.
I was gonna say, well, what's funny about like somebody like yourself in a hobby like this is you may very well be feeling a keycap set when you buy it, and then by the time it gets to you, you're like, I'm already past this.
Oh, and that's
like,
the
thing.
The amount of time
it holds its value. Because I think Chewy said this on Next on Deck, but he was like, I pretty much enter every group buy that I like kind of like, going into it knowing that like even if I don't end up liking it, you know, I can just sell it.
Yeah, I mean, you can always trade it for something too. I've done that with the artisans too. Like, I'll buy it and then I'll be like, oh, I no longer like this. Doesn't look, or this doesn't. I don't want this exactly for my keyboard. Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, okay, well, I want something that's maybe, for example, Crimson Cadet was red and white, and I was like, okay, maybe I can trade to get something like this. And I think that's the cool thing about the hobby is you can still trade,
mixing and matching.
Yeah, mix and match with things. I think that's a really cool thing too. But yeah, I know. Imagine, Kimchi. Imagine sending death threats over a keyboard and then realizing you don't want it in a month. Imagine, dude. Are you the Moira Rose of keyboards? What's Moira Rose? Oh, I feel so stupid.
Dude, imagine sending death threats over rectangles.
Period.
Yeah, imagine,
I mean,
dude.
period, yes, but like over
rectangles.
My taste has been purple and teal for almost 10 years, and I'm a boring person. I don't think you're boring. Purple and teals are very cool colors. I just have like a short attention span when it comes to colors and stuff like that. I don't know why. Like design stuff is Schitt's Creek, Moira Rose. I don't remember that at all. Oh god, I haven't seen Schitt's Creek. So go on. Sorry.
I think one thing about it's okay. So you noticed I like pink. Chat, you guys are wrong, but I think I don't necessarily see it as like narrow preference, but like in a hobby like this, you need to have defined preferences, right? So if something ain't cute, I'm not gonna think about it, and that helps.
So would you say that like, here's a good one. If someone makes a set that's like very cute, but it's not your colors, would you still consider picking it up?
It depends on like the theme, I guess. Like if it's like maybe, I don't know, like
does it have to be
like,
pink?
So for example, like there's like DSA Magic Girl that has like. There's a pink set, but there's also the dark set that's like purple. Yeah. And I usually don't like get purple sets and stuff, but I enjoy like the magical girl genre, and I like it for other reasons. And you know, I'd still picked it up. So I do think about like sets that aren't pink, and I have some in my collection as well. So
yeah, I think for me, like I've picked up a few keycap sets where I'm like, you know what set I don't really use all that often is MT3 Susuwatari, and I picked it up thinking I would. But I ended up not using it as much as I did. But it's still a nice set, and I can still appreciate it, and it's still mine, and I still want to keep it for myself, right?
Why do you think you didn't end up using it as much as like you thought you would have?
I just thought, okay, I actually didn't read this, and this was also another good point, guys, is read what you're buying. I just assumed it was PBT. Please read what you're buying. I just assumed it was PBT because I bought MT3 Serica, and it was PBT. And when I picked up that one there, it was ABS. And I was like, oh, this ain't it, Chief. And it wasn't for me. And I don't know, it just had a very different sound profile than what I liked about the MT3, you know, Serica set. So please don't buy a $500 sticker. That was a big thing when the PlayStations came out. People were buying like $500 empty boxes. Do you guys remember when the PS5, is that what they're on now? I don't remember. PS5s came out, people listed it as like PS5 empty box, $700 on eBay, and people were just clicking buy because there was like the biggest thing and people were buying it. So $500 sticker too. That happened during what group buy again?
I don't remember.
That happened during a group buy, Kimchi? I can't remember what reference we're referring to there, but the sticker in particular. The Iron 165? Okay.
Oh, I remember that. I was
refreshing
at 11 a.m. when those dropped, and I couldn't get one, and I remember it was a sticker.
Oh.
They sold a sticker, and you got the keyboard for free or something.
Oh, interesting. I don't remember that at all. Mechatron, thank you so much for your tier 1. It literally said this is not a keyboard. But people just like, I think it's just going through the motion, and I think that's the dangerous part about like wanting something and like creating like all this hype and stuff around the product as well, is people go through the motion of buying things and not realizing what they're buying. Because I think with the SAT-75, I don't remember if it was the SAT-75, one of the keyboards as well, like people were picking up just plates and not picking up other things. But that's also an interesting point of conversation, because I think this also happens, and I know there's a longer period of time where people can buy it. This also happens during things like cat keycap sales, where if you're not experienced enough, you don't realize that you're picking up only the alphas and no mods, right? And I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone in chat, but I have heard people, and people have come to me saying like, crap, Alex, like, what do I do?
Mm-hmm. Hit mech market. I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have something with cat sets or any of those kind of profiles that have a bunch of kits to kind of show you a little bit more about your layouts if you're a little less experienced on like the kitting you need to pick up to accommodate yourself.
I agree.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, like, you know, and I've done that too. Exactly. So many people are in such a rush they don't research. I've done that too. Like I have accidentally not researched something, so I'm like, shit, I don't have enough time to research right now. I need to pick it up. Pick what keyboard you have and then type they suggest. Yeah, I mean, there's that definitely too. The entry into this hobby is a bit awkward. I agree with that. The entry into this hobby is a bit awkward. There's a lot of aspects and a lot of nuances to keyboards that I feel like can be a bit awkward to get into, but once you learn it, it's super easy. I think so anyways. Like once you actually get your foot in the door with like the nuances and how to acquire that information, which I feel like keyboard streamers honestly is a good way to kind of ease yourself into. You can ask a question. Do you find yourself getting a lot of questions about entry level stuff, or how to begin, or where to start?
Oh, all the time, actually.
Yeah. So what's your recommendation there?
Well, I mean, so because I focus on the kind of like entry level to mid, I don't know, like these are very arbitrary terms, but for the sake of conversation, like entry level, budget friendly keyboards and stuff, I typically get a lot of people that are like brand new to the hobby that are like, what are stabs, or like, what is this layout? And you know, I'm like, I try to make an effort to answer every question of that kind, because like I had those same questions, and yeah. I try to be like a resource in that way. But in terms of like recommendations, I mean, like, I just like recommend people to like the place that I learned this stuff. So if I learned how to solder from this YouTube video, I will literally send you the YouTube video where I learned it and try to help you out there.
Did you find soldering to be very intimidating at first?
Oh, absolutely. I was like, I'm holding a 400 degree like object in my hands. I'm very clumsy. This is gonna go wrong. I'm nervous. But it's not that bad. Once you get
the first time I soldered, I don't think I've ever told you guys this story. The first time I ever soldered, I had the wrong. It was like, it wasn't even really a keyboard. It was like, I think a macro pad, and I had the wrong iron. It was like a really thick chisel tip that literally shouldn't have been near any sort of keyboard at all. And I didn't know what temperature, like I didn't research. I kind of just looked up like how to solder and saw someone do it. And I was like, okay, I should technically do it this way. So I set it to like, I think I did set it to like 370, which was a bit hot. And I went to go put it down, and I pushed the solder through, and it was like my dad's old solder. So it was the wrong size. And I don't even know what solder it was. I can go look and try to find out for you guys. I literally push it through, and then I'm like, okay, pull it away. And then the solder gets stuck to the joint, and I'm like, what did I just do? Why is it stuck?
Oh my God.
And I'm like sitting there pulling, and I'm like, what did I do? But that was the very first time that I soldered it, and my dad's like listening, they're like laughing at me. He's like shaking his head. He's like, you're an idiot. And then he did it for me. But yeah, that was the very first time I ever soldered. But baby steps, right? Baby steps. The Twitch keyboard community has been super helpful. Whenever I ask questions, someone gives an answer. I agree. Courtney's very good for that too. Like whenever I come to her into her chat, she's very lively, and that's one thing. If you guys haven't checked out Courtney's content, she's very lively. She's very like outspoken. She'll address anything that needs to be addressed. So it's been pretty awesome there. How are you doing? I was terrified to solder when I first started. I thought I would break something. There's definitely that feeling of breaking something by accident when you first do your first soldering, I guess, experience. I mean, Reagan, when was the first time you picked up a soldering iron? Because you were pretty experienced like right off the get.
The first time I ever soldered in my entire life was making a cable in April of 2019.
April of 2019?
my entire life I was like wildly intimidated by soldering because I don't know if I equated it to like welding or just this kind of eccentric thing, but I feel like everyone probably has the same thing where you kind of overthink how hard soldering is until you actually do it, and then you're like, oh, okay.
This ain't too bad.
That's pretty easy.
And Chase recently soldered his first keyboard. At least I'm assuming I'm not wrong. I think you told me you did, right?
Yeah, well, so I soldered before. I took like in high school, in like my junior year of high school, I took like an electrical engineering course, and so like I had plenty of time with a soldering iron. It's just I didn't own one, so I didn't really feel like buying one, and I was like, hot swap sounds fun. I'll just buy hot swap boards. That way I can, start to just collect a bunch of different switches and mess around with what switches I want to use all the time. And then eventually I ended up purchasing a keyboard where solder was the only option. And I was like, all right, I'll buy a soldering iron now. And yeah, so I did that.
Congratulations, Chase.
Thank you. I know.
Can we get some claps in the chat?
W in the chat.
W in chat. I don't know, like the hype thing. I don't know which emotes I have that are good for that, or StrayChroma has or anything else.
CLAP.
Clap, dude. Just clap. Oh, I have the clap thing. That's right. The clap thing's for better teeth. Yeah. I forgot that Chozo made me set that up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Thank you, Chozo.
So I finally did that. But yeah, no, I mean, soldering is, it just comes down to like a muscle memory thing. Once you get the hang of it, you can just go down the line. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're somebody like Reagan who has soldered plenty of things at this point.
Well, cables are a different. Like Reagan had to teach me how to solder cables because it's like very fine and it's like a different beast to solder those things. Like my hands. If you guys haven't seen me, like if you guys have ever seen like, I don't know, a leaf fall off a tree, all right, or like if you guys have seen a twig on a very strong windy day, that's how much my hands shake, dude. All right. And when Reagan was showing me, he's like, you just gotta like hold it down. And my hands are like, yeah, I got this, Reagan. And he's just like, you gotta like just quick. And I'm like, yeah, I'm hitting them all now because it's very fine, right? So in my hands, I don't have boomer shakes, dude.
So if I need somebody to ever play the board game Operation with, and I want to win for sure, I'm choosing Alex.
Do not tag in Alex.
Chase, if you're ever at like an end of world situation and I need to do like fine surgery on you, dude, like just know that that'll not go well. Like this will not go well, dude. Because I don't have boomer shakes, dude. Are you happy with how Aether came out? I am. I'm happy about it, Champagne. But boomer shakes.
I'm happy with how Aether turned out, man. I got Aether like about a week ago, and I'm waiting on a couple of boards to come in right now, and then I'm gonna do a nice little photo shoot of it. I'm excited. That set turned out amazing.
Yeah, I like the way it turned out. It turned out good. Like there were some hiccups with some production stuff, but all got sorted out. So I'm very happy with it. I like it. Alex Soto shakes when? I'm not making an emote for that. I mean, I could just ask Soran. He'll make one. He'll make like a potato with a shaky hand or something.
Alexa, stop. Every time I mention your name.
Alexotos. Sounds a lot like Alexa. That's funny.
Yeah. as long as that's the last thing I see when the beautiful stash. Dude, if you see a beautiful stash when you die, dude, I mean, like, what else can you ask for in life, you know? That's all. Potato haters, thanks guys, I appreciate it. Also, with that being said, talking about, soldering, you're, getting into that in the hobby. What's your advice for new people getting into keyboards?
Like regarding soldering specifically, or like in general?
Anything you want. Like, what's your advice for someone getting into this hobby?
Let me think. So I think one thing that comes from looking at like budget-oriented boards is kind of like the idea that you should appreciate what you have. So if you are a person who wants to get into the custom hobby, but you have like a Corsair keyboard, or maybe a Ducky or a Keychron or something that is like not fully custom, you can start there. And I think that there's a lot of valuable lessons to be learned about opening up a keyboard, modifying it, putting foam, learning what stabs are, learning what all the parts are of the keyboard that you already have before you move on to making a fully custom keyboard. I think that's pretty good advice.
Yeah, I think so. Even what Lightning said, like trying out new things. I agree. I agree with all that kind of stuff.
There is no meta. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in keyboards there's no meta, but In League of Legends there is, and that's why I hate that game.
Oh.
We're not here to talk about League of Legends.
Yeah, let's not start talking about League, because I've been playing a lot of League recently, and I've been loving it.
League brings out a different version of me that I want to forget. So I would like
Toxic Odos.
Toxic Odos, dude.
Toxic Odos.
The last thing I will say about League is
Toxin.
League is in like the best state it's been in like years for me personally. It is a very fun game right now, but that's all I really want. That's all,
Actually, Chozo, it doesn't trigger me because Teemo is an alright character, and I actually play Teemo. Fuck that entire game, dude. My Tofu is one of the
Satan?
Wait, they changed Teemo's name?
No, Teemo is like the spawn of Satan himself.
Oh.
Devil Teemo is Teemo's true form.
I don't know. I haven't played in ages because I don't want to play that game.
I don't know. I play ADC, so everything kills me. Just whatever.
I do like TFT though. Anyways, League sucks, Soren. Anyways, yeah, perfect, Soren. Thank you for the transition out of that conversation.
Wait, is Toxic Odos the thing that people actually, is that a common thing?
No, I mean, that's the only thing that makes me like, the only game that drives me nuts is League of Legends. It just does. Like, it's the only game that gets under my skin. You know?
Interesting.
Hamaji, how you doing, by the way? Teemo was one of my favorites the first 5 seconds I played it. He's cute, though. How about some Pokemon Max adventures? Which one's Pokemon Max? Is that for the... I don't remember which game that one there is. There's so many Pokemons that I cannot remember. But that's definitely some good advice for new people getting in the hobby. I think with any hobby too, it's like, just don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid at all, you know? Also, another question that we normally ask. Chase, would you like to say it yet again? I ask you every week to say it now.
Yes.
So
we have a reoccurring question that we ask people, which is, right now within the keyboard community, what's something that you're really loving? What's like a direction you see us heading in that you feel like is a real positive for the whole community and everything? And then on the opposite end, what is something that you feel like we need to kind of pull back on, or something that you're seeing rise up that kind of scares you for the future of the hobby?
I think one positive thing, we'll start with positive things, right? One positive thing that I like about the mechanical keyboard hobby, and this is again from the perspective of someone who's been in the hobby since like 2015, is that like there's a lot more room for like keyboards to be like cute and feminine, and that like resonates with like my aesthetic, and it just like makes it so that I can have tools and I can have keyboards that like reflect my like a form of self-expression. Like the way that you organize your desk is like a form of self-expression, and I'm glad that, and it's not just necessarily like feminine things, but I'm just glad that like in terms of creativity in the community, that there's been like more artists involved, more people who like design things just involved in general, and I think that's a really positive and nice aspect of the community that I enjoy right now. I don't know, something bad. Let me think. I mean, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but like, I wish people could be nicer to each other. Like we don't need to send death threats. We don't need to harass other people about rectangles and pieces of plastic.
Yeah.
But I think that toxicity in general, or just I guess hostility, is something that we can all work on all the time, and that's okay.
I agree. I totally agree about the whole, you know, self-expression thing too. It's been very cool to see people not just do something because they know like this is safe, this will sell, and they do stuff that's out of their comfort zone and do new things. Like, it's very cool to see that. Even when it comes down to keyboard design itself, I feel like one thing that that resonates with me is when people do something that's out of their comfort zone in terms of a design, like a keyboard shape. We're not just getting another, I hate to say it, but another rectangle at the end of the day.
Dude, that's why I like the Box 75. I watched the stream earlier.
It's cool. Like, one thing that I didn't realize, you know, when you look at the Box 75, like on novel keys, or even when it was in its design phase, there's something you appreciate about it when you take it apart and put it back together. And you were like, oh, okay, so this piece goes here, and it was like a fun build. And that's one thing that I even say this a lot about percents boards. I really like the build process of percent boards because it's a lot of fun. Even with the car, it was just like a lot of fun having to go through new pieces and stuff like that, right? So it was really cool to see that too. I mean, even acrylic boards kind of have that whole, like, you're lining things up, you're screwing things together. Not quite as intricate, but it's really fun to put them together. Percent aesthetic is nice as well. I agree with that, Ash. I do. I really like percent's for that as well. And Rubber Ducky, thank you so much for the raid. How was your stream? It's really like Legos, yeah. Sorry, go on.
Oh, I just said, what up, Rubber Duckies?
What up, Rubber Duckies?
I have a question. The origin of your name.
Oh,
Okay. It's quite frankly not a glamorous story. So basically, before I was StrayChroma, I went by a different username. And this person on the internet decided to like harass and stalk me on multiple social media platforms.
that's not
And
cool.
so I just created something that sounded okay, and now I'm StrayChroma. And that's basically it. That's really all that is.
Would you ever change your username?
It's become part of my identity
It's
now,
become okay.
so
It's become you now. Okay.
I've had this for years, but so it's no turning back anymore.
By the way, guys, if you guys harass people online, it's pretty shitty. So don't do that. Let's not do that, chat. You know?
Just be nice. It's all right.
Yeah. I straight up snatched a base kit of Cool Kids. Ooh, very cool.
Oh, Pog.
That is very cool.
I thought I got in on Cool Kids, and then I didn't get the shipping email, and now I'm like have to find extras. I literally did the Cool
no.
Kids like collab, and I didn't even get in on it.
Well, you know, dude, okay, poo poo head. Thank you, Soren. Soren, how are you doing today? Honestly, what I'll tell you guys too is I don't know how many times I've done this where I put something in my cart, think I buy it, and then here's the other thing too. This is how like stupid I am sometimes. Have you ever gotten the email saying like, "Hey, idiot, you forgot something in your cart and you want to buy it?" And then to me like, confirmation email, purchased it, nice, delete, and then I don't get anything in the mail when it gets shipped out. I do that all the time. Nobody
Alex, that's what those emails are for. That's why I make sure they get sent every time you leave stuff in your cart.
Dude, I don't know.
They're not
dude.
supposed to be confirmation, man.
I'm just like, oh look, an email. I must have purchased it. Delete. I don't know. I've
They're
done that a
supposed to
few
be like,
times
have
now.
you rethought this purchase?
They didn't work for me apparently.
Reconsider.
That's a wrinkle-free brain, my guy. I know, dude.
Damn.
I earned it this morning, dude. I always get that stuff.
Mole brain.
But I got Matrix Noah. It's literally primary colors and an off-white. So I was like, wow, this fits. That's the one thing about Matrix keyboards. I really like the different colors of Matrix keyboards. So operating systems ain't nothing compared to math. Yeah. I wait for the email to come so I don't buy things on impulse. There's that too. I mean, like, sometimes I wait for like more things to come out, and then I go, okay, so now that I know all these things are out, what do I like the most?
Oh, I'm one of those people that waits till like literally the last day of a group buy to join because I have to be like I have to have as much time as possible to think about my choice.
Let that FOMO just build up to the last second where you can make
Last possible second, yeah.
I've done that a few times too, where it's like last minute group buy purchase. I did that with what did I do that with recently? I did that with the Grid recently. The Grid 650. Yeah, I Tequila, one of our mods in Discord, was like, Alex, did you pick it up? And I was like, oh, it's like the last hour of the sale. I went and I picked it up, and I was like, thank you so much for reminding me, because I wanted it, but like, you know, when you just don't keep track of time. But I waited till the last minute, and if I didn't want it in that last hour, then I wouldn't have wanted it.
I was gonna ask, has there been anything where it's like the next day you realize like, oh shit, I missed that yesterday. I put it off to the last second, and I forgot to pull the trigger.
GMK Pink on Navy, cough, cough, cough.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I should have got that set. Yeah, I don't think I did.
Yeah.
I did that with Serica though. Luckily, Chozo reminded me of about Serica.
Well, I think for me it was the FFFF switches, because I really like that black and yellow aesthetic, and I didn't pick them up originally when I saw the group buy go live, and then luckily there's extras available, and I picked up a crap ton of extras.
How many is a crap ton? I actually am curious.
400.
That is a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah, certainly.
I like the color of the switches, and honestly, they sound pretty good. Like, I've used the nylon switches before, so pretty happy.
What is differentiating with them about other switches?
Well, the full nylon housing does have a bit of a deeper sound, so I was like, oh, that's not too bad. GMK Darling, a lot of people. Sorry to go way off topic between the switches now. GMK Darling, a lot of people regretted that. A lot of people. Did you like
not
that set there?
I try not to regret not getting it. Mostly because I'm not like an anime person, so I'm not like too hurt. But
Okay.
you know, it's a good looking set.
A lot of people have been like going nuts over picking up that on extra. Same with Botanical. A lot of people have been wanting Botanical extras, I've been noticing.
I think it's a really good looking set. Green doesn't do anything for me. Even though that is a prettier green, I will say.
Yeah, it's I really miss Botanical is one of those ones I miss, and I mean even the desk pads are really nice. I want Botanical extras, nobody buy it.
One, man, I miss Botanical.
Reagan's like, oh shit.
I missed a lot of the sets that I literally collaborate with.
You should hop on.
I don't know how.
You know, you're probably like thinking about it all day long, and then you're like, ah,
like
crap.
I've heard the word Botanical 7,200 times during the month that it's running for, related reasons, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I entered that, and I don't get that shipping email, and I see everyone post it, and
Whoops.
And Keelogen says, wait, it was Zerpocalypse who did, it was Zerpocalypse who did Darling. Cam 80s After Dark is nice. That's the only thing, like, okay, I have a question for you, Courtney. How do you feel about that I wouldn't say it's a recent trend, but I feel like a lot more sets have been coming out with it, so maybe it is a trend. How do you feel about people doing some sort of artwork or anything on the space bars in kits recently?
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with like the Ducky keyboards with like the space bar for like the year of the X. This year's like the year of the Ox or whatever. So I've always been a fan of those.
Okay.
So when I see more people doing like stuff on the space bars, I'm like, yeah, that is a soft spot in my heart.
Okay, so you like them then? Because I'm like, and that's the beauty about keyboards, by the way, guys. Everyone can have varying opinions as long as you're not stupid and toxic about it. I'm like opposite end of the spectrum. I actually do not like it. For me, I don't know why. Like, I just don't. I like pretty things everywhere else, but just not on the space bars. I feel like for me, it doesn't fit my vibe. You know,
the space bar is sacred. You know.
Yeah.
Like it. Maybe it's just because there hasn't been enough sets doing it, or a set hasn't done it right to the point where, like, I don't know. I personally like it. But,
I just feel like it's jarring because you have like all this stuff on the space bar, and then like the alphas end up being like minimal.
I like that.
Yeah, you like that?
I'm a big fan of like. I would love to see more like spacebar prints, basically. Yeah,
I'm down to see more like attempts at it for sure, but I think
my favorite recently has been the random Frank P NK65.
Yes, that was a nice.
That one was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the topography one, right?
Mm-hmm.
My number one least favorite spacebar design is the shitty thin see-through part on the RGB key sets. Oh, when they put that long, thin, I know what you mean. That long, thin, like translucent, on those keycap sets. Totally, I totally agree with you. I don't even know what's there.
Like I'm looking at like right now in front of me, I have a keyboard with like GMK Dark on it. Like I would like that's like got me think like I would love to pick up like something that's really simple and just like flat across the board. Like that's like where I want to go get like an artisan spacebar that will just like kind of pop with the keycap set or something like that from, like Ukiyo keys or something like that. Like I don't know. Like I'm really down for the space. Like I mean, it's the largest key. I mean, it's the biggest thing on the keyboard. It could be used as like a canvas to do really cool stuff. I don't know.
Could be the most epic key on the keyboard.
It could
very well be.
Sorry to cut you off, Chase. I actually love artisan space-bars because I feel like there's depth to them.
Huh. You're not a fan of like designs on the spacebar in
like a flat design? Nah. But like a resin one? Mm-hmm.
Maybe there just needs to be a trendsetter for it and someone who really sets the curve for like a set that contains a stock spacebar.
I don't know what that would be.
I think it'd be really cool for like somebody like Mito to come out and just release a new spacebar kit for laser that has like specific designs to go with like keycap sets that are already out there, creating a new accent kit for them. I think that'd be cool.
And cheap wonton, it's the background music you're asking. It's so chill. You need this in your life. It's just a 24/7 chill hop station that's on YouTube. That's all it is. The resin koi space bars were very cute. Yes. And that's actually another thing. Courtney, are you into artisan keycaps at all? I don't think I've ever asked you. And like we've spoken a few times. I don't think I've ever asked you about artisans.
I'm It's not that I'm not an artisan person, right? It's just that artisans are like a big money sink. So if I'm getting artisans, I'm looking at ones that are anywhere between like $20 and $50 at most. So I mean, I'm a big fan of like Capsmith's ones. I also am a big fan of like going on Etsy and like finding like small resin artists and purchasing their keycaps. But I don't have too many of them just because, you know, I already have enamel pins like up over there. And those are like $20 a piece too. And, you know, you can only have so many money sinks, right?
yeah. Artisans are, like Mechatron just said in chat, artisans are another rabbit hole in itself. So I definitely agree with you there. Yeah. I've slowed down so much. Like before I was really into the artisans and not so much into the keyboard kits. Now I've like kind of swapped where I'm more into the keyboard kits because I like the typing experience and that whole thing where artisans can get pretty hard to get. Like if missing keyboards makes you feel bad, guys, then artisan drops can make you feel even worse. I swear to God.
Oh my gosh.
Bongo when.
I know.
I've entered like 7 bongos, and
there's a lot of entries for those though, man. Like there's tons of hype behind.
Hates me.
And how many typically are sold?
I don't. Wow.
Good question.
I don't know, to be honest.
Probably a very small amount. Probably amount you don't want to know. You don't want to know how small your odds actually are.
7.
Yeah, can you imagine?
3,200 people enter. There are 7.
And that's the dangerous part about that. Is then like prices start to soar. Like if you really want to color, and it gets dangerous. Like it gets dangerous for your wallet, man. It does.
Yeah. I've already said goodbye to the strawberry bongo. Like it's never will be in my possession.
If you guys have a strawberry bongo, you know the person who to talk to.
I think the craziest thing about like the artisan like keycap community is most of them don't ever sell. The only thing they're looking to do is trade. Most of them will trade for certain colorways of things, but they will not sell like anything from their collection.
Some people do.
Crazy.
Some people do.
There are the occasional people who sell,
yeah.
But a lot of people that like get the really nice one, the sought after ones, they're like, I'll only trade for exchange for this colorway of this specific one. It's like, oh man.
I have yet to dive into the artisan world. Like I have a bunch. Granted, like Alex has sent me a bunch, but I have yet to like fully dive into it.
It's dangerous.
It's a sister hobby that also happens.
Lightning says artisans just for the record, guys. And meanwhile, I tuned into his stream the other day, and he has like his full F-row full of bongos from every single color. So don't artisans me.
Just airing out Lightning's dirty laundry.
Every color of the rainbow bongo on his F-row. More like, hey.
So when you're dealing with like pre-built keyboards too, like one bongo equals one keyboard. And when you think about it like that, you're like, I can go without. It's okay.
Wait, Lightning, Diego, did you mean to say A? Oh, because I read it that as eh. Oh.
Too different.
Artisans, Okay, I'm retracting that. Don't mind me. Don't remind me.
We misinterpreted that both times.
Oh, I see.
Those bongos are a big flex. Yes, his collection. If you guys haven't seen Lightning's like collection of bongos, it's actually like really pretty. It's very, very pretty. I have a question too. Speaking of spending stuff, what's been your favorite small purchase that's helped you with keyboards? Like, is there a tool?
Let me think.
It's actually a new question that I want to start asking people on stream.
Yeah.
When we do this.
Grab it real quick.
Yeah, sure. I only have ever gotten one bongo, guys, and I gave it to save. So if you guys want to know where it went, it went to save.
Underrated, right? But I have like this toolbox where I put all of my mechanical keyboard stuff in.
Oh.
So like at the top I have like screwdrivers and tweezers to test PCB, and like inside we have lubricants. These are filters for my desoldering gun. Wow, this is gonna be messy afterwards. And Milmax sockets. There's like pliers, some heat tape. Like I use this every stream. You know, I appreciate this so much. It's like 3-tiered. It's like compact. Like this is cool.
Yeah, that's honestly a good toolbox. I use these things and they start to get like, well, this is already messy, so don't mind me, chat. This is what I use to store like parts I don't need after stream anymore. Then I clean it up into other boxes, which get really organized. But as you can see, that box is really messy. But yeah, I need some good. That's a good point. Like storage systems for your parts and your tools. And where'd you get that box from?
like everything is super teeny tiny. Like your
Oh yeah.
pool of solder, your switches, your
Dude,
lube containers. Like you need to
that's-
put them all in one
Yeah,
place.
and that's the one thing. Like, with every bag of stabilizers I use, like you don't use every single screw and stab thing. So like I ended up consolidating everything into one box, and realizing like there's clear, there's like the C3 ones, all the different colors there. So like I have all the stems in one spot, like all that. So it definitely helped in the long run. Organization is definitely a low key. No, not even. It's a high key important thing in this hobby.
A vendor
Yeah.
needs to invest in that, like some super organizational stuff.
You mean like a tackle box kind of? Or like something else completely?
Maybe something else that hasn't been designed yet.
I like what Rusty Panda says. Chase has the right idea. Bought half of IKEA to organize everything.
IKEA's
Yeah,
dangerous.
your setup
too.
is sick. I also have IKEA storage over here. There's like a bunch of switches that I have over here, and like there's.
have
I
just I bought these plastic drawers that come in like
Yeah.
these 2-packs off Amazon, and I have switches in some of them, and then some of them I have tools in, some of them I have extra stabilizer wires and all that kind of stuff. I just have a bunch of little drawers over there, little plastic drawers. Works great for me.
I got some stuff from Muji.
I miss Muji.
I miss going out. I miss
Yeah.
going to the mall and stuff, man. I mean, they're not even open right now, but you can go online. Shopping online for organization stuff is not the same. That is the one thing I will say is not the same shopping. Sometimes you need to be in person to look at organizational tools and be like, this suits me. It is not the same. Like I said, I told you guys this story before. I don't know where it went. It's that small, but I ordered a tripod off Amazon thinking it would be taller than it was, and ended up being really short. And that was the saddest thing I've ever done in my entire life. Weekday Forever wants a compliment. Weekday Forever. You know what else is forever? My appreciation for you. Oh wait, Weekday Fever. Fuck, it's not forever. You know what else I have a fever for? You. Love you, buddy.
Oh,
Thank you for being here. I read that really wrong.
You
This
saved
tribe,
it.
good save, right?
Smooth.
Smooth, dude. That's my one talent. I was thinking, I'm like, what talent do I have in life? And then I realized it's my scuffed compliments. Double scuffed it. Thanks, guys. It's my one talent in life. Thank you, guys. But did you have any other things that you guys wanted to ask StrayChroma today? Or Courtney, did you want to mention anything? Did you want to plug something that you're going to be doing recently? And what's your next stream, etc., etc.?
So my current stream schedule, I stream every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m. PST. But occasionally you'll catch me on the weekend when I've got free time, either doing more keyboard stuff or sometimes I play video games, and it's like Path of Exile and maybe Animal Crossing. So, but aside from that, I'm just gonna be like continuing with my regularly scheduled
Cool.
stuff. I applied for Twitch Partner recently, but I'm, still working towards that goal.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
know they say like a few
All right.
weeks or something. Good luck with that, by the way. But it's never like they say like 7 business days, but I don't exactly know what they mean. Like I don't know what their business days entail. So it ended up being like when I got my first response for mine, because I got denied my first 2 times. Ended up being like a month, 2 months wait just to get a response back. So I don't know what business days means to them at Twitch.
Yeah.
Any
I
Twitch,
applied for
Twitch staff in the
affiliate.
chat, let me know. What happened, Reagan?
I applied for affiliate.
Oh hell yeah, Reagan.
Pog.
Pog, dude.
I'm just
Hope you-
kidding. I just don't stream enough.
Yeah.
Still, yeah. Awesome.
Reagan, when are you gonna start
Yeah.
streaming again?
I need to soon, very soon, very soon.
Yeah. Oil Bear says, I like her glasses. Tell her glasses are cute in all capitals.
Oh, thank
So
you.
your glasses are you have the transparent frames, right?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, those are good looking. Like I like transparent frames. I don't think I could. Maybe I could rock them, but those are really nice. Although glasses are expensive, guys. I'll be honest with you guys. Here in Canada, I need to use my benefits. I wish I had a keyboard schedule. I know, Lightning. Sometimes like I like my Tuesday, Friday, Sunday stuff, but there's days I'm like, oh, I wish I didn't have to stream Tuesday. I could just stream today. But I feel like I'm letting people down if I go against my schedule. Because I kept changing my name, that's one of the reasons I also got denied, Courtney. So never change your name while you're getting. Yeah, I got denied to like. Oh, this is a good story. The first time, the time I actually applied where I thought I was gonna get it, they're like, I applied, a month and a half goes by. I'm like, screw it. I want to change my name back to Alex Odos because like it's a really embarrassing story that's for another day. I was AlexOtis_live for a bit. So I changed it back. And then they're like, I get the response like 4 microseconds after I apply or after I change my name. They're like, unfortunately, we have no record of you ever streaming. Ooh, don't know who you are anymore.
They
Might want to come back next time. They said, whomst the fucketh are you? And then they forgot who I was. And I had to reapply and wait another like 3 months. So there's that.
Right. I will make sure not to be StrayChroma _live. I will do that for you guys.
Yeah. Just keep your name the way it is. Your stream on the Voice 65 was what solidified me to buying it. No worries, Honey Badger. Warby Parker is really, really nice. Yeah, I mean, like, I want their stuff too, but where are your glasses
I
from?
applied to work there. I really wanted to work at Warby Parker.
I feel like it's really hype working there. I feel like a lot of people like it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who works there and loves it. You could do transparent, no problem? Hell yeah, I'll definitely try it.
Well, I saw somebody plug Zenny, and if you've never heard of Zenny,
What's Zenny?
and if you're talking about glasses being expensive,
What's that? Is that like a boutique place?
It's like an online store.
yeah, and they sell glass. They're like known for like budget glasses. So like if you go get your prescription, and then you can get like frames for like under $20. Like so you can buy multiple pairs of glasses if you want to.
Oh.
Yeah, there are options out there rather than just spending hundreds of dollars on glasses.
See, they have something here called Lens Crafter, which is just where I've always shopped here in Canada. And Lens Crafter is like insanely expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive, but it's just like that's just what I've known growing up. But I bought one thing from them and like in the last like God knows how long, and I'm done buying from Lens Crafters. They're so expensive.
Post podcast, I'll educate you on some more budget options for glasses because they do exist.
Okay.
Oh, I would also like to announce an official Alex Soto sponsorship.
I already announced that.
Midnight tonight.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Reagan. I announced it this morning.
2.5 hours for Alex.
Yeah, we will. Reagan's gonna be like he was basically already kind of one, but now it's like official.
Hug. Congrats.
So there you guys go. Woo. Also, if you guys haven't, by the way, Courtney, you got to try some of this out. It's in a really scuffed container, so I apologize.
Please don't show it. Please don't show it.
I'm gonna show it. I don't.
Oh,
It's this. It's the toothpaste lube. Well, the
It's
XH.
space paste.
What is it called again, Reagan? Can you read it to me?
Space paste.
Space paste.
It is Krytox XHT-BDZ. It is a very high viscosity, which means thick, lubricant that can be used in place of other things such as dielectric grease.
And you know what? I have to admit, it was actually pretty good today. Like I used it on this keyboard today, the Box 75, and it was really good. I have to admit. Like, I actually think that it felt less. I know it seemed messy, but it felt less messy going on the keyboard because dielectric grease tends to like. I know it sounds gross, but like ooze sometimes. This kind of like stayed in place. It was nice. I actually quite liked it, and it does feel really consistent too. Where usually dielectric grease has like a slight tackiness for the first like little bit, and then that typically goes away. Like what I find. But yeah, this was like really nice just right off the rip. So I really like it.
Wait, is that something you're going to be carrying, Reagan?
So it is. We're attempting to have it in stock 24/7 with same-day shipping. As of not tomorrow, Monday, but the following Monday, it will be in stock with same-day shipping.
Ooh,
very nice.
Hotel toothpaste. Yeah, the real thing is Reagan's actually when he gets his toothpaste refills, he just gets little bottles and then squeezes them all out. And then puts it back together and goes, I can't wait to sell this to people. What he actually does. XHT is used for extreme heat applications. I love how we go for the most specialty Krytox products for applications. At least now
it is used for the most extreme heat applications. The benefit that applies to keyboards is the fact that it's extremely thick as opposed to the low viscosity 205 grade 0 and other stuff we use for switches traditionally.
Now, if we get into a heated gamer situation, you know that your stab lube, you're covered. Yeah.
Exactly.
So now we're good. Mayo in my stabs. Ew.
Like why?
Ew. Now, have you actually done that though? Lightning, can you please do that now? I want to see what it sounds like. Basically, the better the stab sound, more heat is produced. I assume so. Yeah, we do love Diego. We do love Diego here.
We
Hey,
do
Alex and
love
everyone.
Diego.
What is the best way and website to learn how to type faster? You're asking the wrong person. How about you three? I don't know if you've seen me type, but unfortunately, little boy Blue, it's not the best typing
That is
in the world.
Creed.
I personally, if you're learning to type faster, here's my 2 pieces of advice. One is to use monkey type. And the second one is, well, actually, I guess I have 3 pieces of advice. The second piece of advice is that the average typing speed is 40 words per minute. So don't beat yourself up, because you probably type faster than 40. And even if you don't, like, that's average. Like, that's perfectly fine. And the third piece of advice is that and this applies to anything, right? If you can do it slow, then you can do it fast. So focus more on accuracy before focusing on speed.
See, Minty Boy,
Wow.
you think it might be kids weighing down the average, but it's actually people who didn't grow up with keyboards, most likely. I think
Which
it'd be
nowadays is also kids because most of them type on cell phones. But yeah.
that. I mean, that's also true. I don't know. Like, I can't. I guess that's also a really good point because I have not grown up in an era without needing a keyboard.
Yeah, in elementary school, I took typing classes.
Mavis Beacon, baby. Mavis Beacon teaches you
Damn,
to type.
yeah.
I took one course of that, and I said, not for me. And then I did something else during that class, which was play the circus math game on my computer.
For me, it was Mavis Beacon, and then I also played RuneScape as a kid, and you couldn't copy
me
and
too.
paste. Yeah.
That's where I
It's like
learned to type.
wave one.
That's literally where I learned to type as RuneScape.
Actually, yeah. Wave 1, Cyan 2, buying feathers, and just like doing that over and over
I
again.
wish I would have played RuneScape as a kid, but I feel like I was in like too much of a sheltered home, and the closest I got was Club Penguin.
Get out of here.
That's the closest
Club
I got as
Penguin.
a kid. I know I'm not happy with it, but that's where I was in life at that point.
What did I play? I think I played a lot of MapleStory growing up. That was like my biggest go-to game was MapleStory. Guild Wars, MapleStory, World of Warcraft. Those are like my big games.
RuneScape.
And then just a lot of Nintendo. I played a lot of Nintendo. I mean, you know what else? I mean, like, I've asked this before, but like, I have old computer games such as Amok. I don't know if anyone remembers that. It's like an old mech game. Deus Ex. I played a lot of Deus Ex. System Shock, if you guys remember that. Played a lot of that. Like, when I'm talking, these are really old games at this point. System Shock was good. I loved System Shock. The original Deus Ex. That game was, oh man, so good. Floppy disks. Yeah, we had man, those games were on CD-ROM.
I'm super interested in like the demographics of the people who are like watching right now. I mean, there's no like good way to even ask that on a stream or anything, but I'm interested like seeing everything people are typing in chat. I'm just like wondering.
Yeah, here's a good one. How many of you guys remember getting Roller Coaster Tycoon free in your box of cereal? How many of you guys remember that? Was it? Wait, I don't know if this was a Canada thing, but how many of you guys got Roller Coaster Tycoon free in your box of cereal?
For me, the big one was buying copies of Game Informer and other magazines as a kid to get the discs that came with a bunch of different demos of PlayStation 2 games.
That's all I did was play demos on my PlayStation 1.
Yep.
I guess for context, my first console was the PS2. So I don't know how that dates me in this timeline, but yeah.
I mean, like,
that's
I had
pretty long
yeah.
ago.
Boomer.
Yeah.
PS2 was a while ago.
What am I then, Reagan?
Oh, a generation.
Double boomer?
X.
Oh, what? Am
We're
I?
gonna have to
actually?
put you in. We're gonna
No,
put you in a
why?
home soon, Alex.
My first console was the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. That's the first one that I
I had one of those.
Yeah.
Before my time.
I also had the Power Glove, that didn't last very long because that thing was not very good, to be honest. And then
What
our
the
Super
hell
Nintendo
is a
died.
Power Glove?
Well, you
The
don't know what a Power Glove is?
Power
That's
Glove
like
is.
an iconic video. Like, wasn't there like was there a movie made about it?
No, I think, was there a movie? I don't remember. I don't remember if there was a movie made about it.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't. I don't know what that is.
Was there a movie, guys? I don't remember.
I feel
Kung
like we're
Fury?
all
Was
around
it?
the same age, so I don't know.
It was definitely memed upon.
There was? Shows us there was. The Wizard? What's the Wizard? I don't remember. See, that I don't remember. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I mean, like, I remember when Final Fantasy was on Super Nintendo. Like that was like one of the games that we had.
Yep. It's called The Wizard, and it came out in 1989.
I think I still might even have the original Final Fantasies with the boxes for the Super Nintendo.
Soul. So when I had my PS2, I was like 4 or 5 years old. So actually, legitimately, the first game I played on my PS2 was this thing. It was called Pac-Man Fever. It was like a 4-player board game with mini game style video game. I said game a lot in that sentence, but you get what I mean.
I get you.
And then alongside that was like the SpongeBob SquarePants video game and like the Jimmy Neutron video game.
I feel like I had both of those, but I also don't remember playing them at all.
I mean, when I was a kid, everything was fun, so maybe it wasn't good. That's why you don't remember it.
No, but they sound familiar.
I just remember playing, like, on PlayStation 2, playing some old James Bond game.
Ooh, you know what James Bond game was
Agent
really good?
Under Fire.
007 GoldenEye. GoldenEye was the best. Everyone can just agree with me now. GoldenEye was the best. High five for Reagan.
Alex.
GoldenEye, you play Odd Job, you throw the hat around, dude. You'd one-shot people and they get so fucking annoyed with you. And then they'd stop playing, they'd rage at you, throw your N64 controller across the room.
That was anyone play Zelda? Like, I don't know how to pronounce it, but like, the Ocarina, whatever.
Ocarina of Time, yeah.
I always said Ocarina of Time. That's like, how I pronounced it as a kid. That game.
Yeah, that was good.
It is, yeah, it's a classic.
Nowadays, I don't play any console games because I like using my keyboard. Boomer Talk? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know these games.
Listen, me and my boomer shaking hands, dude, we're gonna go build keyboards later and be sad.
Okay.
Boomer Talk? Alright, let's talk about TikTok for a bit then.
I don't want to talk about TikTok.
I'm kidding.
Oh man, we're getting into LOZ talk? Oh no. Wait, what's LOZ mean? Oh, Legend of Zelda. Oh, okay. I was like, what acronym is this? Perfect Dark? Perfect Dark was really good. Alex is lying about Power Glove. How am I lying about the Power Glove? It wasn't, like, my dad bought it. Like, I didn't go out and be like, guys, I was like, you know, I didn't like deliver newspapers or anything. I was like, God knows, like 4 or 5 or something.
He didn't get it on release.
Yeah.
It was probably sitting around somewhere and they had it.
Yeah, it was my dad.
When he was a kid.
My dad is actually so into keyboards. He has like 3 on his desk right now. So, yeah, my dad's like super. Was that you, Reagan?
No.
You were like 6 months? I wasn't 6 months. The Power Glove fit, and I used it. If it was 6 months, that would have been a tiny ass Power Glove. Make a TikTok dance? No, I'm not TikTok dancing. But yeah, that's really about it. Actually, one last question for Courtney. Have you considered, or have you been doing any other content outside for keyboards of Twitch?
I mean, like I mentioned before, I do like game streams. I mean, I'm playing a lot of Path of Exile right now, so I may continue to do that. Like the league started. Yeah, the league started a couple weeks ago, but I haven't had a whole ton of time to play, so I'm looking forward to when I do have time to stream that and whatnot.
It's so much fun. Dungeon crawlers are so much fun.
Yeah,
do you use other?
I don't think I have anything else. Sorry, guys, I'm like interrupting literally all of you. I'm sorry.
No.
Do you use other platforms other than Twitch often?
Oh no. I mean, like I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, but that's, I don't know, those are social media, not where I express my creative content.
Gotcha. Okay.
Guys, I'm not lying about my age, guys. I promise you guys. And if you guys want to find, what, Reagan?
There's a reason Reagan calls Alex dad. We'll just leave it there.
Wait. I feel like that needs specification.
No, we're leaving it there.
Okay. That's weird, dude. All right. I mean, like, you know, we'll just leave it at that. Guys, if you guys want to find Courtney on her socials, the link was you can put !guest, or you guys can look at Courtney's name in the chat if she types something and then click her username, whatever is easier for you guys. But yeah, her username is StrayChroma. So for everyone who's listening, you guys can type in twitch.tv/StrayChroma. That is StrayChroma. Her content is there. She does a few keyboard streams a week. Very fun. Very, very fun to watch. And she's very informative. Very kind, sweet soul. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. We're hit an hour. We actually way past our hour and a half mark. We're at an hour and 45 minutes. So I believe we're gonna wrap it up. Do you guys have any last questions you guys wanted to ask Courtney before we wrap it up? We'll take like one more question if you guys want. Towards her, not me.
I just want to tell you guys, like, thanks for having me on. Like, being on Keebcast is like helpful for me as well. Thank you guys for like the support, and
Oh, no worries.
this is awesome. Like, I thank you for the kind words too. Like, I don't know, I'm very emotional right now. It's very kind of overwhelming how like supportive everyone is, how kind everyone is. So
the keyboard community, I know that we sometimes, that's why we added, actually originally we had the question being, what don't you like about the keyboard community, but we changed it because we felt that sometimes we'd like to weed out and focus some of the negative stuff, that we forget about the positive stuff. But for the most part, like, I think there's a lot of positive stuff that goes on in the keyboard community, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
But it's definitely inspiring watching you too. Like, one thing that, if you guys haven't seen part of Courtney's stream, Courtney's Alex lining up with the power glove. Oh my god, guys, I'm 29 years old, and one thing that happens on Courtney's stream too that she really does well, she has like a very, very narrowed down like stream aesthetic, and even recently she added those transitions, which are fire, by the way. Love them.
Thank you.
Mine are just boring transitions, but those are really, really cool. 49. Oh god, I'm getting memed on. I know how Teja feels now. And aside from people being crap in the aftermarket, the keyboard community is very good. Yeah, I agree. I hate the keyboard community. Just look at what it does to my sleep schedule. I know, Soren. We feel bad for Soren. Can we get some tater haters for Soren, please, in the chat? But she does a lot of really cool things.
Emote?
Your favorite emote? It is. It's a very nice emote. Thank you, Soren, for that. But if you guys haven't, check her out. And if you guys have any more questions for her, you guys can definitely do that. Alex, wait, where's Alex's boomer sweatshirt that he wore once? It's in the garbage now.
Can we get tater hater stickers by chance?
No.
Is that a thing that can happen?
Yeah, that has to be
Alex,
all
you gonna make
done.
them?
That's through Soren. Yeah, that's Soren's original art. I will not take credit for this. This is all through Soren.
Okay.
You guys have to communicate through Soren.
Listen,
Fair
Soren,
enough.
can we make tater hater stickers? I can have them on everyone's desk inside of 24 days.
Take the file. But thank you again for being here, StrayChroma, and spending some time with us. I'm sure you know how much we appreciate it too. So
Yes, very much reciprocated.
did you have any last things, Chase or Space?
Just thank you to Courtney. Thank you for taking some time to sit down with us and chat with us. And obviously thank you to everybody who's been here in chat and interacted with us and everything. Really appreciate it.
Mr. Reagan?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. You guys have a good... Actually, let's see who's on, first of all. I always forget to do this.
Katana.
I can
it
guess
Katana?
who's on.
Is it Katana?
Katana and Mr. Ramen Champ.
Did we break tradition?
Let's break tradition once.
Whoa.
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 I feel weird. I feel like we're doing something illegal. All right, let's go raid Mr. Ramen Champ _. You guys have a good one. Enjoy his stream. Spam some tater haters. If you guys have Courtney's emotes, spam those too.
What's funny is we have Katana on next week, so of course the week right before we have Katana on, we're not reading Katana.
Oh, that's, yeah. I mean, we can tell him to go live. Like, get out of here. Go live for a second. All right, have a good one, guys. Take care, and thank you so much for joining us
Bye,
tonight.
guys.
Take care, everybody. Love you.